Yes. Welcome again, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the management functions, management skills, and mainly we will go on, we will talk about SWOT analysis, which I think most of you are familiar with. It's an important analysis, SWOT analysis, and it's a very common analysis tool to measure companies, firms, internal and external positions regarding their strengths and weaknesses, which are internal aspects of a company, and opportunities and threats which exist in the external environment. So, but before that, let's start at what functions management has. Basically, very basically, of course, there are many numerous numbers of functions the management has, but the four basic functions are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Actually, this is like a cycle in all of the organizations. These exist, and please, yes, mute yourselves because it's echoing. My voice is echoing, and it's bad. So these four functions, okay, it starts with planning. Planning means deciding what you want to do, okay? In our personal lives, we also make plans, right? I mean, you want to go to a holiday, for example, you make a plan. You just look at your options, which city do you want to go or which country you want to go. And you just make a quick research on the places in that city, right? Or the hotels, the touristic places, and that how do you want to go there, and by plane, by car, by train, right? Which one do you want to choose? So this kind of questions, and you make some plannings, and also you look at your financial capabilities. How much money do you have to spend on that holiday, right? If you have so large budget, so huge budget, you can make more luxurious holiday. But if you have a considerable, small budget, you make some economic holidays. So this is planning. And so in planning, as you look up your internal strengths and weaknesses, like how much money you will spend, and where do you want to go, organizations actually look at themselves, right, while they're planning their future. And they decide where they want to be, and they decide how do you go there, how they can go there, how they can manage their company to reach their goals. Okay, planning is important, and then they move on organizing their resources, their labor, their all human, financial, and economic resources to produce their productions or services. Then leading phase. In the leading phase, the managers become more important. I mean, they look up the production, they look up the services, they want to find if there is something missing, right? If everything goes on, if they are good with their planning, right? If their operations, and then at the end they control the overall process. If there is some problem, they want to eliminate that problem. They want to provide a solution to the problem, and controlling is very important in that respect. What kind of managerial roles that we can talk about here? Actually, the very important, maybe the most very important one is the interpersonal one, right? So you need to make a contact with your clients, contact with your workers, employees, suppliers, customers, and you need to provide a leadership to your company, right? You need to listen to your people, you need to delegate power to them, you need to monitor them, right? And this is one of the managerial roles, I mean, having the personal relations. The second one is the informational relations, informational duties of a manager. As you know, information is a very strategic factor for managers, because if they can collect the accurate data, if they can collect good information about the their sector, their industry, their job, their operations, they can have a good idea about what to do or what not to do, right? So a manager should give emphasis on to collect information and distribute them. I mean, it's a very important function of them, because if you don't know what are the realities of that sector, what are the realities of that production, if you don't know them, if you don't have an access to them, you will most probably be unsuccessful. And related to this informational role of management, actually the last role is decision role, right? I mean, so every day a manager generally makes some decisions, do this or not to do this, right? Or buy from that supplier or buy the other supplier, right? Or which product to produce. I mean, who to employ in your company. What kind of marketing strategies do you want to apply? What kind of sales strategies do you want to apply? What will be your research and development budget? So this kind of all decisional level roles of managers are very important, and it is good to have a plan here, right? If you have a plan for your company, you know what you need to do. If you don't have a plan, I mean, you just solve the problems, daily problems that you face, but you don't know where to go in the future. You don't know where are you driving the firm, right? Where do you go? I mean, you cannot be sure. And these three management roles are important. What else? When you think about you as managers, guys, okay, you are managers of a company. There are four basic functions of a company, and it's like a cycle, as you see, right? Because you start planning, you set some objectives, goals for the company, you organize your resources, you organize your employees, money, and physical resources to do the production, for example. And then you need to lead, you need to put some managerial efforts, right? To organize people to work for the goal of the companies. And then at the end, you need to make a control, whether everything is good, everything is okay. Then when you control, if there's a problem, you need to go back to the planning phase. By this way, you can see if there's a problem, I want to solve it, okay? This is important. If you don't control, if you just plan and leave it, it doesn't mean a successful management, okay? So you need to be able to do all of them. So let's start with the planning function, okay? Actually, we more focus on planning function. I mean, because I think it's one of the most important functions, okay? The planning function. Why? Why is it so important? I always give the example of driving a car without knowing where you are going, okay? It is nonsense, right? I mean, if you drive a car, you want to go somewhere. I mean, you need to have a destination. But if you just want to drive the car, but you don't know where to go, okay? I mean, even if you are a very, very good driver, even if you know very well your car, right? Even if you are an engineer, I mean, you know the engine of the car very good, you know the technical details very good. I mean, it could be, I mean, you can know that, but driving a car actually should serve some goals, should serve something. What is that? To reach a destination. And if you don't know that destination, just driving a car does not make you successful. It's very similar in a company management, okay? I mean, generally, since the management job is very complicated, since running a business is very complicated, sometimes managers can forget where they are going, right? I mean, because daily they have many problems to solve in production, in sales, in HR, in finance. They are dealing with these tons of works, right? But sometimes they forgot their original goals or original objectives. And it is not the job of employees to think about that, right? I mean, for example, you are working in a company as an engineer, as a sales manager, or as a worker, okay? I mean, you don't think where to go. You're just in that bus, in that car, sitting in the back and do your job, right? And a manager should decide that. I mean, manager should have an idea that, have a perspective that I need to have a plan, okay? I need to have strategies. I need to set some goals and objectives for me. And then I need to make some action plans to make these objectives and goals real. This is very important. Okay. So what can we talk about this? How can we do this, right? How can we make plans? And a very good example, very commonly used example of it is developing strategic plans. Okay. So strategic plan means writing down your goals and objectives, okay, into a paper, and setting some goals, setting some objectives for the next maybe 3 to 5 years. Okay, so as a company, for instance, you think that you want to gain 10% of the market share in the next 5 years. Okay, this is your goal. So what you need to do for that goal, right? What do you need to think for that goal? For example, market standing. Okay, where are you in the market in the first place? I mean, you have a goal of 10% market share, and you need to know where do you stand in the current situation. Let's say you have only 1%, okay, and you want to make it 10 times more. So what do you need to do, right? What kind of marketing strategies do you want to have? So you need to write down them, I mean, in detail. Okay, if I want to reach that 10% market share, I need to, let's say, do advertising. I need to open up new shops. I need to go on e-commerce, online marketing, blah, blah, blah. What kind of things do you want to have? And these are because projects or action plans, right? I mean, you have an objective, like having a market share of 10%, and you need to have some projects to reach that objective. And think there are hundreds of these kind of similar objectives and maybe thousands of projects, okay? I mean, you need to be able to think about them. And if you don't write them down, it's very hard for you to follow, right? When you write them down, you can follow and control them. So as we see, the controlling here is an important function, right? To be able to control something, you need to write them down, turn them into numbers, right? So that you can see whether you are successful or not. Let's continue our planning example about market share. What else? Second one, innovation. Can innovation help you to gain that market share? Why not, right? I mean, maybe you want to develop a new product which is very high tech and people will like it. So you can sell it more, right? What will be your innovation strategies? Okay, so your innovation strategies could be hiring a new R&D employee, which is very famous in the sector, let's say, and you can ask him to produce a new product, or hiring a designer, right? Generally, companies are doing that. For example, they want to introduce a new car in the sector, Renault, Opel, Volkswagen, Seat, and name them, all of them. And there are some good designers, very famous good designers who design the car, and they are actually the people who like the designs will buy more that car, right? So, for example, hiring an employee could be an objective for your hiring such an employee, such a good engineer, such a good designer, could be one of your objectives. Human resources is similar to my previous example, right? So what do you need for reaching that goal? Okay, so you say that I want to have the market share of 10%, but you only have, let's say, 10 people working in your company. But you need more salespeople, you need more marketing people, you need more production, right? Employees, workers. So maybe you need to hire 20 more people to produce that products. Okay, so you need to plan that. To increase your capacity, you need some money, right? How do you get that money? You have that money? Are you gonna borrow that money? Do you have credits from banks, right? What is your plan? How do you find the necessary resources to produce? I mean, now you have only 1% market share, but you want to move on to 10% market share. It means that you need to produce more. If you want to produce more, you need to buy more raw materials. You need to hire more workers, which all means you need more money. Okay, so how can you ensure that you can find that money? This is an important question. You need to plan that. For next year, I will need $1 million. The second year, I will need $2 million. And how can I find the finance of that money, right? This is important. Physical resources. want to open up new stores? Do you want to open up new production facilities? Or do you want to, do you need to buy some new machines to produce your products, right? All of them are needed to be thinked, needed to be planned. Your productivity rate, I mean, productivity means having the resources, having the inputs, you have some output, right? I mean, you put the inputs here in your production facilities or factory, you have an output at the end of it. So your productivity means the ratio in between them. I mean, in output over input or vice versa. So how can you increase that? How can you make your employees be more productive? Meaning using the same resources, producing more. I mean, while 10 employee produce 100 products in 1 hour, can you make it to 200 products? I mean, having the same employee number. It means productivity, okay? So these kind of plans you should have done. Social responsibility plans. Apart from your financial and economic concerns, a business must have a perspective of contributing to their societies, okay? The businesses are not are not distinct from their society. This is very important, social responsibility. And day by day, recently, its importance has been increasing. So all of the companies, all of the firms must think about their societal contribution. It is very important. And financial performance, we mentioned about this. So why do we do that? Why do we have strategic plans, right? As I give the example of driving a car, right? You need to know where you are going, okay? Secondly, what is the environment? So you want to go somewhere, but which way do you want to use? I mean, is there some problem in the highway? Is there some problem in this alternative ways to go there, right? So what is the industry? What is the industry conditions, okay? What is the customer's expectations, okay? And lastly, how do you want to get there, okay? You want to increase your market share to 10%. How can you achieve that? By hiring more employees, by investing in R&D, by investing in marketing. Actually, these questions actually all depends on the environmental conditions, right? For example, in automotive industry, this is different. In high-tech industries, it is different. In service industries, it's so much different. So for each of them, you need to make plans, I mean, if you are in that. And you need to know, you need to base your decisions on accurate knowledge, accurate information. So these are the some steps of the strategic planning process, and we will go on them one by one. But generally, you should know that a strategic plan is something, some kind of a summary, okay, that and declaration of your company's purposes. Why do you exist? Okay, why are you here in our society operating the business? We call it a mission. Okay, what is your mission here? Why are you here? What are you producing? What are you contributing? Right? And a vision is something about in the future. Where do you want to be? Your dream. Okay, how do you contribute to society? How do you contribute to that industry? How do you contribute to this country? Right? These kind of questions. And then SWOT analysis. Let's move on to the SWOT and SWOT, and we will talk about this when they come. Vision and mission. Yes, I mentioned about them, but briefly, it's important to distinguish them. Okay, mission and vision. What is the difference between them? Mission is where you are here. What is your core purpose of being? Okay, why do you exist? What is your responsibilities? Okay, what do you do actually? What do you do question is a mission statement, the answer of what do you do, okay? And a vision is a view of future, okay? A realistic, credible, and attainable future that you want to reach in the future. But generally, visions are a little bit exaggerated. I mean, you cannot reach the vision, okay? I mean, but we will see the examples of it. You will better understand, I hope. This graphic is a show what is the difference between them, okay? The mission is the current base of yours. Okay, you are doing something, you are producing something, a service, a product, something, and it's your mission. For example, what is the mission of our university? Okay, our university mission. Actually, it is forehand. There are 4 missions of our university. The first one is to provide you guys education, right? It's our reason of existence. I mean, why our government, our country have founded Ankara Yıldırım Beyazıt University. The first reason is to provide you guys education, right? In different departments, in different faculties, provide you education. This is number 1. Number 2, doing academic research, right? Making contribution to the scientific community. So our scholars, our researchers, our professors actually producing some research material, right? And this is one of the other important reasons of our existence. Okay. Third one is our societal responsibilities. As a university, we have some societal responsibilities, right? To contribute to the society, to shape them, to lead them into the goodness, into the better conditions. This is one other thing. And lastly, one of our mission is entrepreneurship, guys. Okay, this is actually we want more. We want you guys to start up your own businesses. Okay, in the future. So especially in our faculty's mission, we have this. We have entrepreneurship education in our curriculum. We have supportive tools. We have supportive environments for that. We want you, some of you, in the future to open up your businesses, because when you open up your business, you will contribute to the society. We see it in the previous lectures, right? How small enterprises, how new enterprises, startups will contribute to society's economic development. So we want this from you. These are the 4 missions of us. Okay. So what is the vision of Ankara Yıldırım Beyazıt University? What could be? So it could be something like that. Okay, making our country is a better place. Okay. So you see, it's not that concrete, it's abstract something, right? I mean, make the country a better place. I mean, contributing to the scientific development of our community. This is a visionary future place, or being the #1 university in the Ankara region, for example. Okay, this is our visionary objective. I mean, can we attain this? I mean, as I do, it's very hard, most probably, because we have good competitors, very old, strong universities. But this vision actually gives us a motivation. Okay, gives us, our university workers, our university professors, students, a motivation to be better. So I hope I can make this distinction clearer for you guys about the mission and vision. Okay, so we can move on. SWOT analysis. What is SWOT analysis? Do you have an idea? Anyone want to comment on this? You can write, you can talk, you can contribute. What's the SWOT analysis? Have you heard of this before? Anyone? Can you hear me?
Yes.
They are internal and external factors. Yes,
Okay. Which one internal? Which one?
External is the opportunity and threats.
Yes.
Internal is strengths and weaknesses.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Tolga also writes strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Yes. Yes, you are right. So let's look at that. What is this? What is the SWOT analysis? Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, right? Actually, it's developed like 50, 60 years ago, but by Albert Humphrey, and it's the most widely used managerial analysis in the strategic management field and the management field as well. Every organization start with that when they want to make a current situation analysis, when they want to make a strategic plan, when they want to make a anything, I mean anything, they want to know why they are doing that, because they want to know their position, okay, where I am right now. Okay, this is the very important question. Before you start developing some plans, okay, you need to know your situation. Where are you? Okay, actually SWOT analysis gives you that opportunity to perform it. How? By talking on your strengths, okay? What kind of strengths are there? So your tangible and intangible sources, okay? I mean, the beneficial aspects of your organizations, your capabilities, your skills, your characteristics of business, okay? Like your brand name, like your lower cost ability, like your managerial talents. So anything good about your organization, okay, can be named as a strength. And this strength is an internal factor. Don't forget that. It should be related to you, not another one else. What about opportunities? Opportunity is actually something is outside of the company. Okay, it's not because of the company exists there. I mean, it's out there in the environment, and it gives you the chance make greater profits to reach their goals very easily, and they are very attractive for you. So it's out there. You need to catch that opportunity. Okay, you need to be careful about that opportunity, and you need to catch that opportunity and grasp that. And then for that, you need to have an information about your environment, right? So whether, for example, if there is a rapid market growth on particular segments, particular production of your company, right? So, for example, sometimes your rivals are becoming very weaker, and you see that your rivals cannot meet the needs of the customers. So there is an opportunity for you, right? So sometimes there are economic booms, economic very good times. People want to spend more money. Blah, 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 what kind of things. And the main difference between a strength and opportunity is that strength is your internal factor, opportunities is the external factor. Both are positive, but this is very important. I mean, people generally mix them a lot, okay? They think that they name something as an opportunity, but actually it's a strength, or they name some strength, but actually it's an opportunity. The main difference of them, whether the company control that factor or not. If company control that factor by himself, it's a strength. If company does not control it, if it is outside of the company, it's an opportunity. Okay. What about the other parts, the negative aspects, the weaknesses? Okay. So, what are the vulnerability of your disadvantages of your company? Okay. What kind of factors you cannot meet the standards? Okay. It's very important to see that generally people don't want to see their weaknesses, right? I mean, they want to be presented as strong, good, everything is very good, but sometimes there could be some weak aspect in financial terms, in human resource terms, in production terms, in anything, okay? And if you can name them, if you can find them, you can provide solutions to them. I mean, you don't need to be afraid of this. If you have a weakness in your strategic plan, for example, you can say that, okay, I want to develop a new strategy to overcome my weaknesses, okay? So this is important, okay? The weakness is important. So what's a threat then? Okay, a threat, actually a disadvantage coming from outside of the company again, like similar to opportunities that the company cannot have a control over that, okay? And it's external, it's an element of the environment, and you need to take some precautions against that, okay? You need to know that there's a threat on the road, and you need to be careful about this. What kind of examples can you give? I mean, entry of foreign competitors in the industry, right? Substitute products. So product life cycle could go in decline. What does that mean? Your production is outdated, maybe, right? You need to have you can have some, for example, economic and environmental problems outside of your company, right? I mean, economic crisis, environmental crisis. So how can you take some precautions against that? This is important. So what is the aim of the SWOT then? To find a good picture of your internal analysis, your current situation, okay? So if you know what are some advantageous things and what are some disadvantageous things, it can help you to make better decisions. It can help you to create a clearer goals, clearer purposes. It can help you to organize your factors, okay, to assure that success factors and to get precaution against this harmful factors, weakness and threats. So it's important. Actually, who needs SWOT analysis? Actually, everyone in their personal lives also needs that. You also need that analysis, guys. Okay, I mean, you are as management undergraduates. You want to be somewhere. You want to have a good career, right? You have some goals, and I mean, you need to know your basic strengths and basic weaknesses, right? What I know, I mean, what is my strengths, my English skills, my sectoral knowledge. I mean, any kind of a strength of yours, right? And also you need to know your weaknesses, because it's a time for you to invest in your specialties, right? I mean, most of you are in your first or second year in this university. If you know that you are weak on some aspect, you can make an investment on yourselves to overcome that weakness, to turn that weakness into a strength, right? For example, you don't know English very well, but in the future you know that English is a must for you to compete with with the other undergraduates for some job positions, right? So for the next 3 years of your university time, you can invest in your English skills. You can go to a course. You can read lots of English materials, and you can develop your skill. It's a strategic plan for you as well, right? You don't need to be a company to perform this. Or maybe you see an opportunity outside in the management world. What could it be? The technological developments, right? I mean, most of the companies are actually nowadays adopt e-commercing strategies, right? They want to move on social media. They want to move on online marketing. They want to sell their products online. So if you know, for example, if you would have some technical skills on these issues, on social media, on software development, on any technical thing, I don't know, I can't name here, but there are thousands of them. I mean, there are thousands of softwares, thousands of technical skills that you can have. I mean, it will be very beneficial for you. And you see it as an opportunity in the future in that field. For example, if you graduate from this school, knowing programs very well, like Microsoft programs, like some maybe software programs, I mean coding programs or design programs, and that will be very beneficial for you in the future. So now you have a plan to invest in that thing. Okay. Let's go back to our business focus. A job holder needs SWOT analysis. A business unit needs a SWOT analysis, and a company also needs a SWOT analysis. What is the difference between them? I mean, a business unit, for example, in a company, you know, there are production units, there are sales units, there are marketing units, finance units. So each of them actually can develop their SWOTs for themselves. It's also an applied strategy. I mean, as a company, you have a SWOT analysis for yourself, but as the sub-fields, as the sub-business units, you need to also have a SWOT analysis to better know your specific needs. Job holder also need to have a SWOT analysis, right? I mean, you don't need to own the company. You don't need to have the manager. You can be a worker. Okay, so you are assigned to a new job. you need to know what do you want to be. As I give you the example of your future careers, right? When you first start a job in a company in the future, I hope, and you need to think that, I mean, what is my strengths in that company? What are my weaknesses in that company? And what I want to be in the future, where I want to be. So I make a SWOT analysis of myself, individual as an individual, and develop my own plans. Okay. Yes. Actually, SWOT analysis is applied in various ways, in various places, like workshops, brainstorming meeting, strategic planning, product evaluation, competitive evaluation. I mean, you can make specific SWOT analysis for your products. Okay, you develop some product, a high-tech product, you make a SWOT analysis of that. Or you want to make analyze your competitors. Okay, you can think your rivals' strengths, your rivals' weaknesses, your rivals' opportunities and threats. Okay, this could be done. This could be applicable. And your personal development planning, as I mentioned to you guys, in decision making, in product launch, changing. I mean, SWOT is something everywhere. You can see them, and you will see it in your future. And in this faculty, you will see it a lot. Okay, and I think you will perform it several times at least in various homeworks in the future. Hopefully, if we will meet by face in the next year, we will also perform similar analysis. So it's important for you to understand its basics. Okay. How to conduct it? Actually, in 3 phases. 1, analyze internal and external environments. The second, perform SWOT analysis, prepare a document, and then prepare action plans. Internal analysis, actually, I want you to all to memorize this, okay? Just memorize this. I mean, strength and weakness is internal, opportunities and threats are external. Please, please, please understand that. I will ask this, okay, in your future quizzes and in your final exam. Next week, you will have a quiz on the chapter 6. So you will be asked by these questions, okay? Don't forget this. I mean, a strength is internal, a weakness is internal, which means related to company, an opportunity is, a threat is external, which is outside of the company, exists in the environment. Are we clear on that, guys? I hope we're clear. These are some examples, and you can read them. I don't want to read them one by one. Positivity and negativity. Yes, weaknesses and threats are negative things, and strengths and opportunities are positive things, right? As you see here, for example, changing customer tastes, technological advances, change in government politics, lower personal taxes, change in population age, new distribution channels. Actually, these are not because of our company, right? We did not create these conditions. The environment created that condition, the government, the technology, the others sector, right? So this is external factor. However, our technological skills, our customer loyalty, our production quality is about ourselves. 1, perform it, prepare the documents. Actually, this is the list of how can you perform it. First of all, you need to decide these factors, right? How can you decide these factors then? It's an important. Who do you want to ask that factors, right? Do you have a question? Sometimes someone unmuted himself or herself. Okay, okay. So, okay, the question now here. Okay, we understand the SWOT analysis. Who will decide this? Who will decide these factors? Okay. Generally, companies make some workshops, okay, create an environment, invite their employees from all levels, from managerial levels, from worker levels, and sometimes they even invite their stakeholders, like their customers, their suppliers, their producers, everyone, and ask their opinions about their company. Okay, and they make a list, maybe tens of hundreds of factors, and then they make an elimination factors about them. I mean, sometimes maybe someone said that it's a strength, but maybe not all of the company think that's a strength, right? And then they make a shorter list at the end to have this. And after that, you need to decide. You have a SWOT analysis. You list the factors. So which factors are very immediately must be solved, right? Which factors should be handled just immediately, just now? Which factors can be transferred in the future? I mean, this is the question of which factors are more important than the other factors. You need to also decide that, okay? I mean, there are threats outside, but which threats is more risky? What are their probabilities, okay? And then what I need to do to respond them. It's important. Yes, to know the competition, to know your rivals, to know the industry better, it's important. SWOT analysis. As a decision-making tool, it's very good to use that. To forecast to the industry, to forecast to the future of the industry, what could it be in the future? It's also beneficial. Yes, let's make an exercise with you guys, okay? I want you to make comments on our university's SWOT, okay? Let's do it together with you. Okay, let me share the again. Now you can see it. I hope you can see it. And I want you to name some of the strengths of our university. Please, I want to write it here with your ideas, with your contributions, okay? So please talk or write. I prefer if you write, yes, English education is a strength for our university. What else? Please help me out here. What could be our university's strengths in your eyes? The resources of our university has and which can contribute to our success. What kind of additional strengths that you can name? Foods are being cheap. So let's put it in student-friendly environments, okay? So, or we can say free education, right? Provide to the students. I mean, you don't need to pay money. It's a strength. Ahmed, thank you. I think you think about me, right? This strong education stuff. High quality, I'm just joking, guys. High quality researchers. Okay, this could be a strength. Having a good plan for the future. I mean, yes, this is all a planning. So let's put it some. Yes, our location, Ankara is a, but let us ask me this question. Being in Ankara is a strength or opportunity? It's an important question, right? Our location. Actually, it's a strength, right? But why I think it could be also an opportunity, right? Because in Ankara, there are opportunities being close to the capital city, right? There are good opportunities for our students as well. I mean, for example, there is a good industry here, there is good production, there is good private sector in Ankara, and also government sector in Ankara. So our students can have job opportunities more here, right? So yes, our location is our strength, but at the same time, our location provides some opportunities. I mean, being near to the capital, right? So it could be both strengths and opportunities that something that we can control, something that we cannot control. But being close geographically to a center could give you opportunities, right? Okay. What else? State university, teacher support, foreign students. Yes, having foreign students and researchers is important to be a universal, global research center, global university. That's a strength also. Yes. Different resources about lessons, big library. Yes, library resources. These are all could be named as strengths. Okay, let's move on to the opportunities then. Okay, the positive things we are continuing. What kind of opportunities did we have? Actually, opportunities are something not because of our university, something in the environment exists. Can you name some of them? What kind of opportunities can you think about our university has? Nothing? No idea. Intern opportunities. Yes, opportunities or job opportunities, right? In job, internship opportunities. There are more companies close to Ankara, right? So our students have more job and internship opportunities. There are more cultural activities in Ankara. So it could be a opportunity for our students to develop themselves. Yes. Yes. And what kind of other things that we can name? For example, technological developments, okay, in the future. I mean, if you can partnership, okay, yes, partnership opportunities. Actually, there are huge opportunities outside of Turkey with other universities to build up partnership with them, right? That's our opportunities. Yes. Maybe this agreement Erasmus Plus and Mevlana could be considered as a strength factor, right, Ahmed? Because we have this. I mean, our universities successfully applying this. So they have made many agreements, contract with other companies, other universities, sorry. So Erasmus Plus opportunities could be a strength factor rather than an opportunity because we can control it. Okay. Maybe government budgets could be an opportunity. Right? I mean, government could provide us with big budgets or sometimes make a cut in that budget in financial crisis times. So it could be both threat and opportunities. Okay, let's move to the disadvantages parts, okay? Which I think you are more familiar with or more want to talk more. What are the weaknesses of our university? Feel free to talk. Feel free to write. I think you have more things to write when we talk about disadvantages. Yes, campus location, right? Number one weaknesses. What else? Transportation problems. Yes. Being a new university. Yes. Lack of social activities in campus. Okay. Maybe lack of dormitory, right, for students. I write it here in purpose because our dormitories are being built, right? Next year they will be open, and so you can see that it's a weakness for us now to not to be able to provide necessary dormitory functions to our students, but next year we will solve it. So we should think it like that. I mean, when we list some weaknesses, we also need to provide some solutions to that in our strategic plan. Okay. What else? Okay, we can move on threats if you want. What kind of external things that you can name about our university? External disadvantages, about threats. Let me name one. Because of our economic condition of our country, all of the budgets of universities are very limited now, limited budgets for the next years. For example, our university wants to hire new professors, but there is no budget. The government don't let you, okay? Or they want to build up some social facilities, but there is no budget to do that, okay? This kind of things. What else? Can you name any? Yes, COVID-19 have a huge threat on our education quality, right? I mean, we cannot meet you guys in our campus. We cannot do our regular work, right? I mean, it's very impactful. I mean, it's a very big threat, right? For us, for our success levels, for your education quality. Yes. Okay, what else? Okay, okay. This is enough for today. I mean, to understand SWOT. But the more important thing here, guys, we listed them. Okay, that's good. We can list more. We can list less. But you need to understand that we also need to find some projects to suggest some projects to solve that problems or to use that strengths. Okay. For example, the campus location is a problem for us, right? How can we solve the problem of, for example, transportation problem? How can we solve it? Okay. So in your strategic plan, for example, you can say that, okay, I will add additional buses, 3 buses from Kızılay to the campus more rapidly, for example, let's say. I mean, this could be one of your solutions to that problem. Or lack of social activities in the campus, okay? Our management, our rectorship could say that, okay, I will open up new social facilities in that campus, okay? Or making metro, as Semanur indicated. I mean, I will talk with the government of it. I will talk with the municipality, and I force them to finish the metro line. Okay, so these kind of projects, these kind of things that we can talk of, and also, for example, we named some partnership opportunities. Okay, and in our strategic plan, we need to name some plans for partnership. Okay, in the next year, I will make some partnership with these universities, with these government institutions, with this private sector, and then we need to control it, whether you are doing it or not. So I hope you understand my point in SWOT analysis. Okay. Our last slides, benefits of SWOT, we mentioned about that, but there are some also pitfalls for SWOT analysis as well. What are those? They could be very subjective. I mean, people come up with the same final version is very rare. Okay, I mean, sometimes you name some strengths, but other things it's not a strength. Sometimes it's very simplistic. I mean, just writing SWOT. Sometimes the problems are more complicated and could be very subjective. Sometimes, for example, a strength could be a weakness, or an opportunity could be a threat at the same time. I mean, you can name your academic stuff as a strength, but at the same time, they could be your weakness, right? If they provide a low quality education. I mean, how can you be sure? For example, I say that we have a very high quality researchers, we have very high quality professors, but maybe some other one think that I'm not that highly qualified, right? I just think I am wrong, okay? Let's say. So this is very subjective and it's very mixing sometimes, right? And categorizing these as strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and traits might be very subjective because there are great degrees in uncertainty in the market, very uncertain market we have, right? Sorry. To be effective, SWOT needs to be conducted regularly and make changes. And data used in analysis may be based on assumptions that subsequently prove to be unfounded, good and bad. It lacks detailed structure, so key elements maybe get missed. So there are other analysis tools which is more complicated than SWOT. For example, there are some analysis which add probability for the factors. For example, probability of this opportunity is 10%, probability of this threat is 20%, so that you can make more accurate action plans. Okay, this is the end of our class for today. Do you have any questions about SWOT analysis, guys? If you have questions, please ask. Okay, thank you. I stop recording now.